have you fallen in love with a deck that refuses to love you back? Maybe your favorite character doesn't have a decent combo to save their life. Maybe Bushiroad didn't give your set a climax swap for some godforsaken reason. Or maybe you just don't have enough deck slots for everything you need to fit into 50. Well, in this series, I'm going to challenge myself and my fellow Weiss players to solve exactly those problems. We have the chance to fix our favorites using custom cards, but with one simple catch. No matter how many ideas we have, we can only use one new card in a deck at a time. How hard could it be, right? There's only one way to find out. Grab your swords, boards, and blessed knives, because for our inaugural episode, Blank and I are going to make one small change to Danmachi. Howdy folks, J3 Puffin here with our first episode of One Small Change. Blank and I talked a little bit about how to fix Danmachi. Basically, he knew from the jump what he wanted to do to fix this. There is a card in Card Captor Sakura that we just ripped the profile straight off of, changed the traits on it, gave it a name and a color, and called it a day. But the idea was that Danmachi wasn't really a set that needed all that much to really kick it into overdrive, at least for this door gate setup. The card in question, as we have highlighted on the screen here, is starting at level 1 Bell. On play, he gets 1500 till end of turn, so he swings at 2k the turn you play him. And when he becomes reversed, you can pay 1, clock yourself on the top of your deck, and put him at the bottom of your deck to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, grab up to 2 events or traded characters from among them, put them in your hand, and put the rest in your waiting room. The card in Card Captor Sakura, according to Blank, just feels really good. And the idea was that by putting it into Danmachi, we solve a couple of key problems. The main one being that you need hand, you really want to have hand. And unfortunately, you didn't have great ways to do that beforehand. The primary way of doing that before was this guy, which we are still running in this list because we want the extra red sources to be able to put the level. And also this bounce back effect, even though that act at the bottom is completely useless to us in this deck, the bounce back effect does have quite a few applications, even if we're not hoping to rely on it as our primary clock plus. Ultimately, the question is, does this card by itself fix the main problem that this deck has? We're running 3 of it. We're not running a full 4 of because we do still want to have copies of this in, so we're running a 3-3 split. Our sole yellow level 1 is this climax swap, which every set needs one. We also, the fact that it's also a level swap has some significance. You want to have this around for when you're trying to loop the hell out of this door and to go into finisher for the level 3. But the only real major level swap target I can think of is this Eyes early play, which needs herself in level, and we also don't have any other yellow. It's just the 1 copy of the climax swap and the 3 copies of this. That has not turned out to be a problem in any of these games, and I've yet to actually need to use that level swap. We got this early play. Swings are 1500 when you play it down. Gets hexproof always, as long as you meet that condition. And they can't back it up the turn you play it down, so it is a very nice removal tool for problem level 3s and whatnot. Also, a nice target for a double combo, finisher combo situation. Speaking of the finisher combo, just while we're down here, this is our finisher. This Proof of Trust Hestia. She gets 1k for each year traded in backstage. She is a stock healer on play. And also, this very interesting finisher plan. On attack, as long as you have the gate in the climax area, choose one of your characters. That character gets 1 soul and cancel burn 2. You can stack as many of those cancel burns as you want on 1. You can just give it to yourself. Basically, we are trying to get this as on board to end the game. We don't have another option here beyond just dry swings. So we're aiming for triple. If we can't get triple, double is hopefully fine. Maybe like double along with like a weenie swing into a direct lane or something. Either way, we're just trying to make this happen. And how are we going to make that happen reliably? Well, she's very resource light. As long as you have clock to heal, you only need like four stock. You need either four stock six hand and like two in clock, or like four hand six stock. Still incredibly resource light for what ends up being kind of a low to the ground finisher. The fact that you get to like four, five, six soul swings very often doing all this. Sometimes the six just sticks, and that's just enough. So go back, loop back to our level zeros. We have four of this drop search that is also a bottom deck bomb. We have three of this brainstorm that once per turn when we play an event, you can draw a card, ditch a card. This is kind of our only way to get climaxes that isn't gate triggers or like hard drawing into them. But we only have the one card, and when Blank put this list together, we didn't get a check three generic or anything. I'm going on his word. He built this list. He said we didn't have one. We're rolling with that. Meaning that this is kind of our last ditch hope to get them, as well as being a search brainstorm, which we have a good amount of waiting room access. We have a good amount of like deck speed with the legendary event we'll get to in a minute, but let's not let it be said that we have fixed every problem, but we have certainly smoothed things over from a standard list. Anyway, we have four of this. This is an event resay that also on play locks down one of your opponent's characters so that they can't move. Really nice when you're running a full 12 events in your list. Yeah, we absolutely need this. Let's get into our level 1 lineup. Very low on actual level 1 characters. We have four of this Door Climax combo, First Adventure Bell, who on attack gets 1500 power for each copy of the Firebolt event in Waiting Room. And when his door is placed on Climax area, as long as he's in center and you have another traded character, you get to either search or salvage a copy of Hestia Knife. It is a counter 1/0 blue event. You don't have to worry about the color though. If you don't have a character with Hestia or Bell in its card name, you can't play it. And if you don't have Bell on stage, you can't play it during counter step. Basically, all the fun little features to it are locked behind needing a Bell or Hestia on board. And really, just like one Bell kind of solves you there, which is very handy considering what we're trying to do with this deck. And then its effect is simple. It's a top check 4 for a single traded character. Obviously, we whiff on this more often compared to other decks because we are running a high number of events, but that isn't necessarily an issue. This deck is actually using it this pretty frequently as a way to just like get out of sticky like compression situations. At least when I'm piloting the deck, I can't say that I'm an expert. The goal is that we spend most of the game just looping this guy between being able to swing huge with the combination of Climax Down and events in Waiting Room. You can start swinging. You can be swinging at like 10k at level 1, even up to like 11.5 on a 1/0, so long as you have a full Waiting Room of the other event that we're going to talk about. This combo is really great. You get the same advantage that you would get from like a Magro, but you're delaying it potentially with the use of the event. Well, not potentially, you are straight up delaying it with the use of the event because you cannot use it the turn you grab it, but it works out fine because it's backup speed to help save you from compression, and it just works. It just works. Speaking of Firebolt, we are on 4 copies. This is a very straightforward salvage a level X or lower, where X is based on the number of the level 1 combo in your Waiting Room. I initially was kind of trashing on this card. It turns out that it is really good. I say really good. It could, strictly speaking, be a better profile in the, you could have extra text on it. This by itself more than gets the job done. Because as long as you have a Bell in Waiting Room, you can always salvage it to loop combo again. If you have Bells on board, you can go back for your level 0s, and we have pretty good setup of level 0s. And considering that all of our characters are either 1/0 or 3, and mostly 0, extra lower doesn't actually hurt as much as you might be expecting it to. Circling back to our one other level 1 character, we have one copy of his Turf War Wealth. He is an event support card. Basically, he's entirely dependent for his effects on this Pion Kichi event, which is a 1/1 salvage from waiting room and then give 4K to one of your traded characters. Everything in this set that mentions traits just hits everything. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, so this event also super solid. We're playing for a Vit. Why? Because this wealth brings it down to a 1/0. It just removes the cost requirement entirely. We already need red in level or clock for our level 1 combo, so having the red sources isn't going to be a problem to play it. And the only other event that we worry about looping is colorless. Once you have red, you're good. You definitely never want to level this guy. You want to be able to get him as your back row for as much of the game as possible, as long as you're able to loop those Pion Kichis and Firebolts for salvages, and the Hestian Eyes for deck speed. He does contribute to deck speed some as well. He is a pay 1 rest himself to top check X for a level 1 or higher card, so he can grab Pion Kichi with his own effect, but the top check is based on the number of Pion Kichi in your waiting room plus 1. So it is anywhere from a top check 1 to a top check 5 for any 1 or higher. As you notice, we're not running any cheery type profile. We are running event resay, drop search, and our custom card friend as far as securing copies of cards we want in hand along with the events. This is the list we're rocking here. We're going to see if by inserting this one card from Cardcaptor Sakura, we can improve our game feel just a little bit. I played a couple of games of this deck in a Discord call with Blank while we were first getting all this set up, and ultimately we went 2-0, and then I went and sat down, recorded some extra games for myself, and we are going to be looking at those now. All right, so game 1, we are going second, which is perfectly fine. We are going to filter down to just we debated a little bit. We end up just keeping out to the door, pitching everything else. Our hand is entirely level 1s, which is not the best look. We draw into a drop search. I'm going to level this Firebolt to draw 2. We get some playables, thank God. We have our custom 0, that 2k power going to come in handy. We have this drop search we're just going to play down, and this event resay as well. Grab a Hestian Knife off the top, pitching the Pion Kichi left in hand because the Firebolt is deemed more valuable. Now we go swing in dry, hit a Brainstorm on trigger, hit a event resay on trigger, and hit a Eyes on trigger. As you can see, our opponent is doing their best to just it's fine. We don't take anything from that first attack, and they leave our custom card on board. It's a little bit unfortunate. We clock the Hestian Knife for a level and decide to just see a little bit of debate here. Trying to figure out what we're doing with it. We are going to drop search, drop the Firebolt. There we go. To get the Brainstorm, which we are then going to put in our backstage so I can have it for later. We're actually just going to fire it now. Hit 2, which is going to get us our Wealth, which is our other back row piece from when we hit level 1, and our third copy of the combo. So we are now set for our level 1 turn. We then go in for dry swings, get canceled, hit, and get our opponent to 1-0. This opponent, by the way, is just the Amelia AI that the sim comes with. Nothing crazy. Didn't set up games with Blank or anything for this. And this is going to be our test for all future profiles going forward. So now we have this little bit of debate. Do we bounce back with this Bell or not? And ultimately, I decide that yes, I do want to recycle this drop search. We agonize over this. No, we go through the reset. Never mind. We cycle back the reset. We go to 1 here. We're going to clock the new card that's a good source of red. And we're going to pay 1. Clock a pants, which is unfortunate, but we do hit double characters, which is debatably better than hitting the red 0 and then getting the pants in the cards we had to hand. We cancel a swing for 4, and then we look at this swing for 3. We take it. We do have easy blue level in clock, but we kind of don't care. We have the ice in hand to meet her experience condition, and then we just spit our hand onto the board. We have these 3 bells. We have this wealth that we're eventually going to get around to playing. There we go. There he is. I don't think we even fire in any events or anything. No, we're debating it at least. Yeah, there we go. We just hop straight in, play the door, figure out we see 3 or 4 in a waiting room. I think we only see 3, which is fine. We grab 2, and are we going to take our 3rd? We're going to take our 3rd. So we grab all 3 out of waiting room, and then we go in for swings. This is going to reset our power, unfortunately, so we only get the 1 swing at 10k. We have another firebolt in clock, though, now, for when we cycle this another time, provided we get the chance. Because of that, though, I want to keep these on board, so I am going to just side in for 1s, which 1 sticks, 1 misses. And then we have to drop down for hand size. We are going to drop... What are we going to drop here? We debate dropping the firebolt. I believe we hang on to it because we want to be able to... No, we don't. No? Yes? Okay. We send both of the bell bounce backs. We're going to keep the firebolt so we can get back our level 1 combo. And we're going to burn through these knives, I do believe. Look, 1, 2, 3. Go all the way. We're going to grab the climax swap so we can actually do combo next turn with however many copies we can get. I believe we take the draw ditch, so we are going to ditch the level 3. And we also cancel that damage thanks to the knife. See? Handy, am I right? We are going to back up again. We see 1, we see 2, we see 3, we see 4. We are going to take the release, let everything else go to waiting room. We did skip a cancel, which is unfortunate, but these things happen. We'll level the eyes, so that we have her experience condition. And then we go for our 3rd knife. We stop at 3 and decide we're going to pick up the eyes early play. We then get another 2 into our level, so we are 2-3. Looking at a clear board, but with more than enough ways to get back to it, as you can see, with 1 in hand and 2 ways to salvage. So we are getting triple combo here. Do we clock? You can see me debating it. Clocking that we don't need to, that we do need to. The debate is real. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? He is going to not clock. So we're going to play the climax swap. We're going to pay the cost. Pay 1. Ditch this gate. Grab the door. Then we are going to exchange and level. Sure, why not? We're going to put blue in. We have a copy of the brainstorm. Might as well, right?
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
So then we go play 1 copy of the combo. Use the Pion Kichi to get a 2nd copy of the combo. Give the combo power. No, we give it to the climax swap. Why did we give it to the climax swap? What a goofball. We're going to pitch the door. We're not going to worry about looping it again, I suppose. We have the 2nd one on board, and then I think this is where we realized, oh wait, we could have actually gotten triple combo. He is now evaluating his life choices. Oh, this poor bastard. Is he going to go for it and play over the climax swap and waste the power pump? It looks like it. So we are just hard playing over that shit. Slamming the door down and then grabbing our knives. Again, all from waiting room because we know they are in waiting room. I believe there may be one buried in stock. I'm not entirely sure at this point. But as you can see, we're swinging at 8-5. We have a door, so we can get a copy of our level 3, which is good. We don't have to go back cycling into the deck with it. And then, we hit a gate as well. So we have combo, and we have a copy of the combo ready to go, which is good. We hit our opponent to 2-3. We decide to drop one of the copies of the Rise, and we are back in business. Our opponent playing cards, as they're wont to do. They early play, heal the stock, use that stock, and then they leave us. They're only swinging over one piece of our board here. They are going to get us to level 3, though. At this point, we have a situation. We have 2 blue cards in level and a yellow card, no red to speak of. Fortunately, we don't care. We're going to search Brainstorm. We are going to hit 1, which is going to allow us to get this other copy of Hestia to our hand. But without the red available, we're going to have an issue triple Hestia-ing. So we're going to play 1 down to get this Climax out. We're going to use the knives as pitch fodder. We're going to be playing over our bells as well. So we have 2 of them. We realize now that we don't have red, which is this poor bastard. So what's he going to do? I mean, he could just leave that bell on board, swing a little softer, but your opponent's sitting at 2-3. You've healed down to 3-0, but you still want to have the opportunity to do as much damage as possible. We're going to check 3 and hit nothing, because we have to seal 1 or higher. We had a climax and 2 zeros, so that ain't going to work. So with that in mind, we're just going to play the eyes. She is a 1500 hexproof that they can't back up into. We're going to play the combo, and we're just going to see how much damage we can do. And hope that if we do end up dead after this, we tried our best. We're going to give the effect to itself. Swing 5 with cancel burn 2. And the 5 sticks. Alright, we're going to do the same thing again. 5 with cancel burn. Cancel burn sees climax. And then last but not least, we have the swing 3 from the eyes herself. The 3 sticks. Our opponent is looking at 3-6. With a climax trapped in there. Their finisher, their quote-unquote, not even their finisher, because it's just a neg soul. But it's a top check 3, so they aren't healing when they're doing this. They go for 2 of it, they don't even play the climax. Our eyes is going to live across turn, and so is one of our Hestias. Provided, that is, that we don't die. So that first swing, the eyes lives it. Our middle Hestia dies. Then we cancel this final swing, putting us at 3-6 with a door in waiting room. We're going to pay the 3 to Encore, because we don't need stock to do our combo. However, we don't actually have a way to heal either. We're at 3-6. Our opponent is also at 3-6. We're looking at our waiting room, looking at our hand. We're going to Hestia knife for the check. We're going to grab the 1 target that we have. We're going to draw ditch. We don't see the climax, so we're not going to get another turn of cancel burns. But from this position, we only need to deal 1 damage. This should be perfectly fine, right? What could they possibly do? We debate how much more of this we're going to go for. The wolf can't see climaxes. The Hestia can't get them for us. We don't have any assurance but an event. We hit 1, and we are going to search out If another Hestia, just, I guess, for show? Yeah, I think just for show. At least go and dry. We swing 3, and it didn't stick. Alright, what about the eyes? Swing 3, and there we go. That is game 1 in the books. So as you can see, we have gotten a little bit more consistency with hand, just the ability to rip 2 cards off of the deck. Deck speed is already something this deck has basically no issue with, and as long as you're mindful to actually have a red to do stuff, you don't have to worry about waiting room access either. All very good things to have. Let's go into game 2, see if we can repeat our successes there. All right, game 2, we're going first. We have an interesting hand. We are going to be pitching. Oh, debate. We're keeping the Firebolt because it's costless, just in case we don't see the wolf. But we mill down a Pants and 2 copies of Pionkichi. So we want to use this Bell Bounce Back, but we do need 2 characters on board to actually use it effectively. So we're also going to play this bottom deck reverser, knowing that we're not going to keep it on board for that reverse effect. We're going to swing with the Bell. 2 is going to stick, and that is turn. Our opponent only plays down 2 attackers. We are still going to use this Bounce Back to save both of them with the 1 stock we have available. We clock our Climax Walk, which is a little bit annoying, but, c'est la vie. We take 2 from the first swing, and we take 2 from the second swing. So we are now 0-6. We're going to clock the Hestia and level the eyes to go to 1-0. We don't have red or blue available. So how are we going to do something from here? Well, we're going to play those 2 cards we played earlier. We're going to flip them around. And then, this is a little goofy. We go to play the Climax because we forgot we don't have red. That we're 1-0 without red. So I have to side attack in both of these lanes. We get 1. And we get 2. So they're now at 0-6. They're now going to 1-0. They have the color they want in level, though, which is, a boon. They're going to get a copy of their level 1 combo. So this is their board going in. We're going to activate the effect again. Pushing ourselves to 1-1 just to have these cards back. Just in case. We cancel the swing for 4. They resolve combo, grab their Twin Driver. There's ridiculous Twin Driver profile. Another swing for 4, another cancel, this time on 2. And then a swing for 3, which is going to stick. There's our wolf in clock, which is unfortunate. What's a little bit more fortunate is that we have 3 Firebolts in hand. We're not going to clock, we don't need the hand. We do not have more bells in waiting room to salvage it. How are we going to do that? Well, we need a bell on board to play Hestia Knife. So we need to resolve that issue first. We're going to play a copy of our 1-0 bell. We're going to play the Hestia Knife. Just full send it. We're going to grab one of them that we hit, because we did fortunately hit 2. We're going to Firebolt for the other one, or for the Brainstorm? We go for the Brainstorm. We're going to lay down the Brainstorm. We're going to play... we're going to use the Brainstorm, hit 1. We're going to decide what we're going to grab from the search, mind you, the search. And we end up on, look at him go, look at him looking through his choices. He grabs the event reset, so we now have 2 copies of it in hand. We're going to play another Firebolt, which is going to get us the 3rd bell. We are then going to draw ditch. Debate it. No, we don't. There's our triple bell on center stage. Looking through our waiting room, debating if we use the 3rd Firebolt on anything at this juncture. I believe here we decide to put this in back row. To have the opportunity to bounce back if we so desire. And there we go. We play the door. We're going to check deck. We do have a Hestia Knife in deck. We're going to grab that Hestia Knife from deck. And then we're going to grab the other two. If we had not had one in deck, we might probably still would have checked just because we're now over hand size. So, the deck knowledge, compression, whatnot knowledge would have been good. We hit a gate, which we decided to grab a gate to hand for later. We are not sticking any damage at the moment, though, as our opponent sits at 0 or at 1-2. We have to make some choices while we're discarding. We're going to drop one of the event and an event Rize. And then, we have another door in hand. So we can, we're going to do it. We're going to pull the trigger. We're going to pull the trigger. We're going to save our center bell. Yes, the center bell. This swing for 3 sticks, which is unfortunate. 4 even. We remember this time to put red in. We're going to put the new card. We're going to put the new card in. We, of course, have all 3 colors in clock anyway, but that's fine. We cancel another swing from 3 for their book filter, and we take 2 from their not twin driver. We don't need to clock, because why would we clock with this much hand? We're going to fill our board back with bells one way or the other. We play one from hand. We're deciding how to get there, I think. So first we're doing Hestia Knife. We're going to stop and grab a copy of the finisher. Then going to draw ditch. We decide... What do we decide we don't need? We don't need the bounce back anymore. We're done playing with that toy. We're going to torch for... Well, there we go. Because we have Pionkichi in hand. So then we now have a 1-0 Pionkichi, which allows us to salvage our 3rd copy and give a power pump to one of them, meaning that they are just not going to be able to back up over it, and we have our target. We want to get to this twin driver as soon as humanly possible. So we're going to fire back the door, and then we're going to check waiting room. We only have 1 Hestia Knife. We have 2 in hand. We still have 1 in deck. We're going to resolve the other 2 copies targeting waiting room, grabbing the one that we can, and leaving this 3rd combo on the table, which is perfectly fine. We could have resolved that other Hestia Knife. We decided not to earlier in the turn, which is fine for our purposes. That attack gets canceled, but we still stick the refresh damage. Another attack gets canceled. And the final attack does also get canceled. So we're sitting at 2-5, having to drop 1 from hand. We're going to drop the Hestia Knife. Our opponent is looking at 1-5, which also means they don't have a lot to contest with. And in fact, they don't have a way to contest our bells. We're going to do this as a way to try to filter down, but we hit 3 doors and an event Rize. So, we feel a little bit silly about that. We go for the draw ditch. We're going to discard the climax swap. So we go to 2-6. We decide not to back up. We go to 3-7. We put a brainstorm in so that we'll be able to play our Hestia combos later. We are 3-0. Our opponent is 1-5. But things aren't as grim as they might appear. We're going to clock a Hestia Knife. We now have 2 copies of Hestia in our hand. We're going to play over 1 bell. We're going to stock heal. We see that we have 3 copies, and we have a Hestia in waiting room. Almost. We have 2 copies of the bell. We do need to play over this other one before we can do that, but you see the line, I think. We forget that we don't have a stock to heal, so we just pitch meaninglessly here, which is a little silly, but it's fine. We then go get our other Hestia. We draw ditch. We go ahead and discard the card that we draw. We play our 3rd Hestia. And we do realize we have nothing to heal here, so we don't do that. We keep our hand. So we are attempting a finisher turn this turn, which is going to be 3 swings for 5 or 6 cancel burn 2. The cancel burn sticks. We go to 2, our opponent goes to 2-0. We swing again for 5. And that 5 sticks, really swinging the game back into something a little bit more manageable. Our opponent goes to 3-1, or we go to 3-1 rather, but the other 5 sticks, our opponent is now at 3-3 from 1-5. They clock a climax to go to 3-4. They play this 1300, which is potentially going to be like an out away for them to kill us, but, well, we cancel the first swing. That could cycle back to the bottom of their deck. We cancel the second on 0, and then the piece de resistance. We are going to debate the Hestia Knife. We say no to the Hestia Knife, and we take the 3 because, I mean, we're doing all right. So our opponent's at 34. We need to be able to stick 3 damage. We encore a Hestia, and we draw the gate. We do not clock. We just slam it. We have 3 chances of getting lethal here. We're going to give it to center. Swing 4. Cancel. Stick the cancel burn on the other Hestia. Swing another 4. Cancel. And last but not least, swing 6. And the 6 sticks, giving us our second win. You see, sometimes the damage you just get it. Now, obviously, if we had just assigned them to themselves in those cases, we would have had swings for 5. They would have canceled, and the cancel burns would have stuck. But I mean, look, man, sometimes you just do it that way and it works. We're not gonna show just only wins here. That would be a little bit unfair. So our due process for this is we're gonna just give it a full best of 3. So we're gonna go into our third game here, whether it's a win or a loss, is kind of all reliant on whether this Amelia AI can step up to the plate and do the finishing job that it needs to. So we are going to boot into game 3. We are going second. This starting hand is looking really good. We're going to send the Fireball to see another 0, and we do in fact see another 0. We see a climax swap. We're going to take a swing for 3. We have eyes and level. We have all colors. We are looking all right. We draw into another door. I decided to clock the climax swap. We draw into event resets. So we're just going to windmill slam here. We're going to grab Firebolt because Pionkichi might cost stock if we don't see it. We're going to send one of the event resets, and then we're going to resolve its other effect. We're going to play the Brainstorm, which we're actually going to be swinging with, I do believe. And we play another event reset, which doesn't see anything we can get. We've locked down both of their characters on board. We go to attacks. We swing for 3 with triggering our finisher. We swing for 2, triggering our level 1 combo. And then we swing, triggering a gate, which that's unfortunate to see. We don't resolve it because we actually do want to have Climax in the waiting room. Climax swap traded, so we are down a lane, and our opponent is at 1-0, meaning that they're going to be able to start doing combo and twin drive shit. They whiff to Brainstorm. They don't have Climax. They go to attacks. They swing over 1 with this goofy little 1-0. They swing at us in their other lane. We decide to do that. And then we see their twin drive. They don't twin drive for some reason. And there's a wolf in clock, which we couldn't have predicted, but we played around. We're going to clock the eyes to have experience condition for later. We're going to play a bell. And then we remember, it's colorless. So we can just fire this, which we're going to do. We're going to flip 4, see 2 climaxes, but another copy of our combo, which is good. So we're going to have 2 copies of this. We're then going to salvage, and we're going to check. We don't have another copy in waiting room, but we do have Brainstorm. But are we going to get climax swap? No, we're going to get Brainstorm. There we go. We're going to go Brainstorm, hoping that we can see a climax to triple, and in fact, we do. So we grab the 3rd copy from a deck. We now are able to just fire triple combo here. Reviewing waiting room, reviewing targets. doing math with the cursor. We just go straight into deck. We grab the Hestia knife that's in deck. And then we grab out of waiting room. And grab out of waiting room. So we have 3 Hestia knives for the crackback turn. We swing at 8-5 because we have 2 firebolts in waiting room. The first attack cancels. We hit a door, which is a little grim. We don't have finisher. We don't have any other copies of the level 1. So what are we getting? We have Eyes' experience condition basically set. We're going to grab... We're getting a drop search? We're getting drop search. So we have... we really need to clean out our stock at our next opportunity. We get our opponent to 1-4 with the swings. They save their combo using their little saber guy that they had on board. They're going to get 1 off of this brainstorm, and then they're going to clock themselves to 1-6 with a climax off the top. We are going to Hestia Knife. We need to try and cancel what we can. We're going to see 4, I'm pretty sure, because we realized we were completely out of climaxes. We're going to grab our finisher from here. So we have 2 caps in hand. We are then going to draw ditch. We're going to ditch the brainstorm we just drew. And take the 3, which includes another copy of our finisher. We're going to play the event again. We're going to whiff on cards to add because we weren't sure if we had event or character left in the bottom. We also take this damage, so we're going to need to clock the eyes here. And then we're going to go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to grab the Hestia, Brainstorm, and cancel that damage. 2 of our lanes are reversed, but we still have 1 clear lane and a door. Oh no, we have 2 doors. Well, we need to clock. We're going to clock the Brainstorm, draw 2. We draw into the Pants Climax as well. This is a little grim. We're in a Brainstorm. Well, maximize chance of hitting climax. So we hit 1, which we are going to go searching. Not a lot of great options, but we are going to grab the eyes. We don't have a reason to, take advantage of the 1500 here, but it is a body we can swing with, and we don't have ways to salvage combo right now or do anything like that. We're going to pay 1, pitch one of these doors to get out of our hand. We also can't grab the wealth, so what are we getting here? We're going to get an event Rize. I think that we'll be able to hit a Firebolters later. We instead just combo the 1 build we have to get the 1 Hestia Knife out of waiting room, not even bothering to check deck. We hit knife, we have Firebolt. Our opponent goes to 2-2, and then we swing with the eyes at the end. We hit a second Firebolt, but the damage sticks. So they're now at 2-5, we are at 2-2. With 2 backups in hand, we have 2 Hestia, we have Pants. Things are looking okay here. They're going to swing 3 with their early play healer. We're going to cancel that with a Pants. The bell is going to get reversed. They're going to swing their filter in. We're just going to knife. Stop at 3. Grab this bell. We're going to draw ditch. Going to send the bell back in deck. And then we cancel on a Pants. And then last but not least, they're not even twin driving. We are going to check again. We whiff a cancel, but we do see Wolf, but Wolf doesn't actually do anything particular here because we don't have any copies of Pion Kichi. We do have triple Hestia, though. So we clock an event reset. We are 2-5, which is a real awkward place to be, honestly. We're going to move this eyes over. We're going to play this custom bell. It's level 1 starting at level 1. We're going to Brainstorm hit 2, which is a little bit grim. We do need to get that stock out, but we can't early play another eyes. We still grab an eyes because I think we forgot the early play condition on her. So that's just an oversight. An unfortunate oversight, but an oversight nonetheless. We're going to drop search. Realizing that we can't play the eyes, looking around, trying to figure out what we're doing from here. this wouldn't have been a bad time to use Wolf to check for Pion Kichis. We're gonna just play the drop search dry. Ugh. Not looking good here. But we are, I believe, trying to have 6 stocks so we can triple Hestia next turn. Unfortunately, we did not clean out the stock we already had at any point in this game. Opponent is sitting at 2-6. We just run this drop search in. They gets into level 3. We're not going to encore, obviously, because we want the stock to be able to triple Hestia without relying on our opponent, doing some clock stuff. And they fill up their board. They're going to hit the 4, which is going to be real unfortunate. We're going to level blue. We're still looking at 3-2. Cancel. Shuffle it back in. Twin drive. They don't have a filter. Swing 1. Cancel. We're looking at 3-2. I believe we do. Yeah, we do. Pay 1, which is a little bit odd. I guess because we already have the eyes on board. We're going to double Hestia. Going to pitch. They drop search for a stock heal. That is why. Okay, yes, of course. The stock heal. How could I forget the text on the card? So we are going to get the triple Hestia combo out here. Except that we can't resolve triple Hestia. We only have double. And we could have, but we just decided to, say, fuck it. We're going to ball with this. So, we swing 4 with Cancel Burn 2. Cancel Burn gets canceled. Give it to itself. Swing 4, Cancel Burn 2. Swing 4, Cancel Burn 2. Cancel Burn 2. The 4 gets canceled, the 2 gets canceled. So at this point, we do not have lethal. And that gets canceled. And the Baron gets canceled as well. So we're at 5 stock, 2 hand. Triple Hestia on board. If they can't answer all 3 of them, then we might have a chance at cracking back next turn. But we are looking at least 1 guaranteed damage on this refresh, and we're 38 and 34 going back. So not terribly compressed, all things considered. We're going to take 2. We're going to take 2. And then we're going to take another 2, and then this on reverse memory summoner guy, this weird not a restand, we cancel. We're on 3-6. What a legend. We cannot heal. But we're going to try to find that other Hestia. She's in stock. Oh no, what did I say about cleaning out our stock earlier? Oh, this is horrid. I believe she's actually the bottom card of our stock from here. So we're going to, try and do some shenanigans, but ultimately we're just not going to get there to see our 3rd Hestia. And we're going to way overcommit in the process. We just go through everything. We play out most of our hand looking for it. We really should have been just trying to fire as much stock as possible while keeping as much of our deck intact. If we had just swung with 2 Hestia and an Eyes, everything would have been fine. We mill the 3, and that is basically game over if we cannot kill them with our swings, which we have to do dry. We're not looking at our odds here. We go for 3. We hit the 3. We don't do soul triggers. We don't get a soul trigger. If we had swung with the Hestia, who knows? We actually don't even get to find out, because after we resolve this door, we're dead. So that last game, we were ultimately our own worst enemy, but I feel like those games do show that the card that we added really is helpful. The fact that this deck can just not cluck itself because it's doing it when this guy is getting reversed or with this other bell. We don't have to clock during clock phase because we can more proactively do so at other times a lot of the time. Also, just having the raw amount of hand that we had in some of those games, starting a turn with 9-10 hand and being I think I am good, all things considered. With that, that's going to be curtains on our first episode of this mini program. Hopefully, this was an interesting little look into this series we're going to be working through. Thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw, do the algorithm things, like, subscribes, comments. These things help. If nothing else, they help my ego, and I appreciate having an ego intact. It's a good thing to have around. If you have suggestions for deck archetypes or even entire sets that you feel like you could fix with just one card, let me know. I'm JF Buffin on Discord. We have the usual Discord links in the description. And until next time, this is J3 Puffin signing off. I'm gonna save this deck from disaster. Fix its problems with this one small change. No answer could have been any cleaner. If I want to play this deck and still win some games, you're gonna need this card that we make today.